Hey everybody, this is Dave Blair, and I want to share my thoughts on the new Forza Motorsport game that just came out. First thing I'd like to do is congratulate Turn 10 for finally getting this game out. It's been 6 years since we had a Forza Motorsport game, and this is way overdue. In my opinion, I think this should have been a launch title for the series consoles, or at the bare minimum, it should have come out right around the time that Gran Turismo 7 came out. With that being said, I'm thankful that it did come out. It runs pretty good, it looks pretty good, and I'm extremely grateful that it works with my Fanatec DD1 steering wheel, my Hussenfeld pedals, and my Thrustmaster shifter. Everything worked, was easy to map, although it did take some time to dial in the settings. So anybody that's playing this on a wheel, I would suggest or highly recommend that you go online and find some good settings for your wheel. And even after you do that, spend some time maybe at Road America or Spa, one of the longer tracks, and just do a test session where you can take it out and adjust some of those sliders until you're happy with the way it feels. Because the settings make a huge difference, and I'm sure every wheel is different. Now, while the game does look pretty good, especially if you have the system that can run it, I really feel like they wasted their time trying to get ray tracing working. I don't see a lot of people using that. I think most people are going to go for the performance of the 4K 60 frames per second option over the ray tracing. When I think about the time that they must have spent trying to get this ray tracing to work on the consoles and optimized and everything else, it seems like a big waste of time. We are there with the graphics already. I would say less than 1% of the people really care about the ray tracing in the game. It seems to me that that time could have been better spent putting in some more tracks, especially like the fantasy tracks. There's no reason why you couldn't have brought back Sunset Peninsula, which was a great track that we have not seen in years, decades. And it wouldn't have killed you to put in one point-to-point race. You know how the community wants the Fujimi track. You could have put that in. I do like the focus on road racing, but what seems odd to me is that you added an oval track, but I don't see a whole lot of NASCAR type oval cars. And that may be coming in the future update or something like that, but I think you really had an opportunity here to put oval racing onto consoles with the proper penalties and flag system. And while I understand there might be a conflict with NASCAR licensing, you wouldn't have to have NASCARs if that's a problem. You could have just had stock cars running an oval. I really feel like oval racing is underrepresented on consoles right now. And from my understanding, iRacing just got the license for NASCAR, so there's that. The other part of the game that I feel let down on is the AI in the career mode. This AI reminds me of Forza Horizon, where, the first 2 or 3 cars are running away at the front, and the mid-pack is a cluster. Something just really feels off with the AI when you're racing against it. Good thing I don't really enjoy racing AI, which is why I prefer to run on the multiplayer side. And there, I would say this game is really looking good. I had my first online race against real people, and while I was trying to be as smooth as I could be, other people were abusing their tires, and I came in third on my first multiplayer race. And I believe I started in 8th or 9th out of 12. And the reason I did so well was was because other people were abusing their car, and so they were making mistakes or slowing down towards the end of the race, whereas I had conserved my tires and I did really well. So I think the online racing is pretty good, and that is where the game will shine and have a future. Now, the AI monitoring system I think is good, but needs to be tightened up. It needs to hand out the penalties that are deserved, and I believe that will get tightened up over time. It's just way too lenient right now. But because this is a games as a service, I think a lot of this stuff will get tweaked over time. And I was also wondering how they were going to monetize this game. And when I look at the driver suits, I realize that's probably where they're going to do it. The driver suits that they give you are all pretty lame. And so they're probably going to release driver suits with microtransactions that you can buy with real money. That's just my guess. That's probably where they're going to go with this, but there will be microtransactions in this at some point. That's just what I think. So just to be clear, I am really happy with the game, and I know that it will change over time. They will bring more tracks. They'll support this game for a long time. I'm not worried about that, and I believe it will get better. I'm just disappointed that they probably wasted a lot of time implementing ray tracing when they should have spent that time adding more tracks, especially fantasy tracks. There's no licensing problem there. And they should have worked on the AI and made it better. I don't see this as being any different than Forza Horizon 5. They also need to tighten up the penalties, but I really like the way the car feels once you get your stuff dialed in, and I think the multiplayer will have legs and keep this title going. Alright, I don't normally ask for thumbs up, but if you could thumbs up this video, share it with a couple friends, maybe if we get enough attention on this video, maybe somebody at Turn 10 will see it and they can start working to implement some of these changes. Again, I'd really like Sunset Peninsula to be brought back. That was a great track. And I'd also like the point-to-point, the Fujimi. Alright guys, thanks for watching.